Okay, lesson 86, translating sine and cosine functions. Translating means like sliding them, left, right, up, down. So, a horizontal shift on a function is when you take the x and subtract the value that you want to shift. So if you want to go to the right, you'll have x minus a number. So if h is greater than 0, that means you see a negative sign. Then you are going to move h units to the right. And then if you remember, if h is less than 0, so if you have a negative h, then this becomes x plus h, and that will move h units to the left. Which makes sense. If h is negative, you'll move left. If h is positive, you move right. But then it's confusing because you have this minus sign here. So if you see minus, you're moving right. And if you see a plus, you're moving left. For a vertical shift, that's when you take the whole function f of x and you just add a number on the end. So if you see a plus sign, you're moving up, because if k is positive, you're going to move k units up. And if k is negative, you're going to move k units down. Now, standard form for sine and cosine functions are y equals a sine b parentheses x minus h and parentheses plus k. And then y equals all of that, except instead of sine you write cos. So the absolute value of a, if you remember we learned this a couple of lessons ago, that's the amplitude. Oh, I don't want to put equals, I want to put is, the amplitude. And then 2 pi divided by b, if you remember, that is the period. X is in radians. H is the horizontal shift. And then k is our vertical shift. Okay, so for example, if you're asked to graph y equals cos x plus pi. So y equals cos x, and then we're going to shift it to the left pi units. So if you remember, we take b, which is 1, and we do 2 pi divided by it. So we have 1 period of 2 pi, so we have to divide that by 4, which means we're counting by pi halves. Which reminds me, on your homework last night that I was grading, you guys would graph a sine function but wouldn't label your axes, so I have to mark it wrong. So you got to make sure that you have it labeled. The amplitude is 1, so we're going to go up 1 and down 1. So we are shifting to the left pi units. So our, let's see, our cosine function, isn't it minimum 0, no, maximum 0, minimum 0, maximum. So this one would be max 0, min 0, max. Okay, so normally the parent function would start at 1, but we are shifting pi units to the left. So pi units to the left. So my max will go here, my 0 will go here, then my min, then my 0, then my max, then my 0, then my min. So it will look like this. So compared to the parent function, it just looks like it was, what's that called? Reflected over the x-axis. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. We're going to do the lesson practice. Question?